What's up, guys? Welcome, and thanks for joining another Warhammer 3 casted replay. Today we have myself, Lebaked, playing on the Skaven, versus Uriart97, playing on the Greenskins. This was a fun match and quite a brawl, so I thought it'd be a fun one to cast and show you guys. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and pause right away because I have to fix the camera settings a little bit. Unfortunately, you have to reapply your camera settings in the replays because it's bugged out right now. Okay, let's take a quick look at both of the army compositions as we always do. For the orc player, over on his far left flank, we have a unit of stone trolls. Armor piercing, regeneration, and weakness to fire, as all trolls pretty much are. Very good anti-infantry unit, big large unit just to kind of bust through the front line, and good armor piercing and weapon damage as well. Besides them, we have orc boys for a front line, along with goblins, goblin spears, more goblins, and more orc boys. Behind them, we have a midline of black orcs on the right flank. These are your typical, well, I shouldn't say typical, these are the black orcs. These are the really good orc infantry fighting units, highly armored, good HP, good weapon strength and all that. Nothing bad to say about the black orcs, just a very all-around solid unit. Besides them, we have two units of ranged archers. We have the orc archer boys in the middle, just regular orc archers, and then beside them, we have the Ruglud's armored orcs. These guys are little crossbow ranged orc units. They do have a decent amount of armor. They do have some bronze shields as well. Not bad range and ammunition, and they are actually fairly decent in melee combat. They won't go down to low tier infantry and stuff like that very easily. Behind both the range units, we have a couple units of orc boys with spears to protect the flanks. We also have Crimson Killa black orcs way over on the left mid flank for the orc player. These are the Regiment of Renown black orc version. Really good unit here. Very strong, very high everything stats, weapon strength really high, anti-infantry. They aren't armor piercing, but they do have a little active ability here where they can boost their base weapon damage and their armor piercing and lowers their melee defense. So a really big offensive burst there, and then they have just the opposite thing where they can up their defense instead. So a very cool, very strong unit to look out for. For a caster, he's running just a regular orc shaman. Let's see, for spells we have Brain Bursta and Foot of Gork. I think that's about it in the main area, besides the Lord here, who we have Gorbad Ironclaw running with all his regular abilities, all melee and leadership kind of buffs and upgrades there. Over on the right, up ahead, kind of a vanguard here, sitting in the woods hiding, we have a unit of Night Goblins. These are the Regiment of Renown Night Goblins. They are unbreakable, kind of a weird thing to have on a goblin, but they are unbreakable, poison attacks and all that, and they do also have their Spinning Loons ability, which I think is just a better version of the regular goblin Spinning Loons. Okay. Way out on his flank, he has in my back corner, in the vanguard, he has a Goblin Spider Archers and Goblin Wolf Riders. These ones are the Regiment of Renown Moon Howlers. I don't know what's so special about them. I think they just have like better stats than the regular ones. They don't have any special ability or anything like that I can tell. Same thing on the other side, just no Regiment of Renown. Okay, for myself, in the front line, we have a couple Skaven slaves. These are just the 150 really cheap Skaven slaves, just there to absorb whatever happens, whatever gets shot at us in the opening volleys as the armies close together. We also have clan rats on either side of those and just to the flanks of them. Storm vermin, swords and shields. These are kind of like my better, kind of like if he has black orcs, I have these. Definitely not as good as black orcs, but they're kind of my version of it. So a pretty tough infantry fighting rat unit, armored and shielded and all that. Same thing on the other side. I have storm vermin with shields. But on my right side, I have also a unit of warp grinders. These guys I thought I'd bring along. They have two abilities. One is seismic snare, which in a 35-meter radius AoE, just whatever's around them in that AoE cannot move. It stops them, and then they can do an AoE damage over time ability, Warp Quake, which is it's pretty cool. So I was going to try to get some damage done, see what I could do with these warp grinders. So I brought those. We also have, basically in the front line, 1, 2, and 3 units of warp fire throwers. I'm going to use these guys not quite in the front line, but very, very close. Going to try to get some volleys off with these warp fire throwers. They usually get picked off, but they're really good if they can get a couple volleys off. They will delete units pretty quickly. Behind those, backing them up, we have a unit of Rat Ogres, along with Poison Wind Globadiers in the back. These guys can't say enough about Poison Wind Globadiers. I know most of you guys know this, but for those of you that don't, very strong unit, short range, but very good anti-cav, very good anti just everything, to be honest. Damage over time, armor piercing, poison shots, magic ammunition. They also have 100 armor. This is something I didn't quite realize until recently, that they have 100 armor, so they're not even like that easy to take out when they get attacked. More Storm Vermin with shields and Rat Ogres in my back line just to fill in the gaps or go wherever they need to. More Poison Wind Globadiers and Rat Ogres coming up to the right. And for my lord, we have Claw himself on his Doom Wheel. I have all my abilities except for the one which is a power recharge that had like a 50% miscast chance. And for the spell, I just took Flensing Ruin. Gonna do the AoE Flensing Ruin on his lord over and over again is my plan. Okay, enough talking. Sorry about that. Just had to go over everything. Without further ado, let's watch the battle. Both the armies now closing together. Claw going to come up and get an early shot off on his lord, I do believe, just to get get the damage rolling as soon as possible. Nice missile into Gorbad. It even shoots right through and hits some Orc Spear Boys in the back. Stone Trolls making first contact. Gonna smash through these Clan Rats pretty easily, going right for the backline range, but they do take a Warp Fire and Poison Wind Globadiers right to the face, so that definitely hurts. Really good contact with the Warp Fire throwers, getting a good connection on these Goblin Spears, another good connection over here on some Orc Boys. Just doing devastating work with nothing in front of them. Rest of the front line is coming together. I do realize that both of my flanks now are being threatened now from these Goblin Wolf Riders. So we do have the Rat Ogres here to kind of help push off those Goblin Wolf Riders and protect the Globadiers. He does get a decent charge off there on one side, though. The other one protected and intercepted by the Rat Ogres pretty well. Meanwhile, in the middle, we still have Warp Fire throwers shooting away there, trying to hit his these armored orc boys, these Ruglud's armored orcs here a bit. I even hit them with a Vortex as well and a Warp Fire, but they didn't really take a lot of damage. I was a bit surprised. Big Flensing Ruin coming down on Gorbad. Got to get the damage going. It does AoE, so it is damaging these spears that are here beside him too. These Warp Fire throwers are basically done, so I just throw that down to get the damage rolling, get Gorbad, start getting him chunked down. Rat Ogres successfully fought off the Goblin Wolf Riders, so these Poison Wind Globadiers are able to continue to fire straight into some Black Orcs. That's an awesome target. They're highly armored and really dangerous, so getting all these free shots right now with the Poison Wind Globadiers just feels awesome. So that side was going really well. I finally brought in my Warp Grinders. I had a little bit of a sandwich between my Rat Ogres and my Warp Grinders. We caught these Crimson Killer Black Orcs who are actually taking the Warp Quake damage. These ones can't move. It wasn't a full connect, but it was still a pretty good one, so getting my first decent value with that Warp Quake onto the Crimson Killers, probably the best target on the field. Right flank is going okay. We did get disrupted pretty good by some Goblin Wolf Riders, but we did rout them off, but they are coming back, so we continue to fight on the flanks to protect our ranged units. The middle has definitely gone to the Orc player. I did not have enough. I wasn't able to push through the middle. He definitely got control of the middle in pretty short order while I was busy defending my flanks, so he did really well there, crushing through the middle and keeping me busy in the back here with all these Goblin Riders that they weren't like a massive threat, but they were a big enough threat to my ranged. Claw now coming in, taking on Gorbad. He's surrounded by Rat Ogres, and I do have some Storm Vermin here, I believe, as well. So between the Rat Ogres and the Storm Vermin and Iklet, we should do pretty well here against Gorbad. He does have minus 30 armor with another Flensing Ruin going down. It's the only spell I brought, so I think that's about the third one I dropped now. So Flensing Ruin getting a lot of value, getting his Lord quite low. Night Goblins must have somehow snuck up and got on top of these Poison Wind Globadiers. They're not going to want to stay in that fight too long. He actually pulls back too, probably to help his Lord, because he sees that he's getting surrounded. So lucky for me, I'm able to pull these Poison Wind Globadiers back for now, and they'll be able to stay in the fight. On the other side, the Poison Wind Globadiers aren't making out quite as well, but they do have 2 units of Clan Rats here protecting, running off anything that's trying to take them out. In the middle, we have Storm Vermin, Sword and Shields. They're locked up with the Crimson Killers. This is a good matchup for them, I do believe. Not that they're going to win, but they'll be here long enough to hold them up for a while. Rat Ogres finally bursting through, able to get on top of these Ruglad's armored orcs for now, so that's good. The Rat Ogres will definitely trade into those guys pretty well right now. Oh, another nasty magic missile going off onto Gorbad here, just as the wall kicks in. So the orc players now are definitely have boosted melee stats at the moment. They should win whatever fights that they're in. We're just concentrating on the archers over here on the side. We don't have any really high DPS going on at the moment. Handling the goblins with Clan Rats and Storm Vermins pretty well over on this side, I would say. Mainly just these Black Orcs. Regiment of Renown is the main thing we're worried about. I do drop another Vortex on top of these Ruglad's armored orcs. Maybe should have gone on to these guys, but either way, it did good damage, and we do get them wavering, and they are about to rout off. Alright, as we consolidate on the wings, we have a few units here, just kind of getting my units together, rallying what I do have left. Globadier, some Rat Ogres, and Clan Rats. Same thing on the other side. They are doing okay. They got rid of the archers. They got rid of the Goblin Riders, so right flank is secure for me. Left flank is almost secure. Goblin, Wolf Riders, Spider Riders trying to get in on these Globadiers. They're going to take a huge volley right to the face. Not going to be able to get quite to them, and with their high armor they take no damage and rout those guys off. So now both of my flanks are secured quite nicely, and I do even have this little bit of high ground with the few units that I do have left. In the middle though, he has full control, still an Orc Shaman, still has his Lord alive, and a fairly healthy unit of Crimson Killers backed up by Goblins and Orcs with spears. So now my main focus was to, he still has a few scattered units here keeping me a little bit busy, but we are going to slowly close in on the flanks here and start concentrating on this middle. He has a couple units of archers still. These guys are a threat. They can take out my Globadiers, so we're just going to keep backing those up. In the middle now, I go for Gorbad. I do get another Flensing Ruin on him. Going to really try to take him down. Our Warp Grinders do rally. They are coming back in to get into the fight. I want to get them right into the middle as close as I can into this big chunk. We have the big Flensing Ruin AoE is going on. We finally dropped the Warp Quake and the Seismic whatever to keep them from moving, and now we have a massive overlapping AoE from Seismic Quake and Flensing Ruin right on top of his Lord and all these units. Plus we drop another Vortex right on top, and it is just carnage. And that was a very good AoE. That was like something I was trying to pull off the entire game, so it felt very good. Crimson Killer Orcs are still here, but we're just going to kite around them with Wicked Claw while taking shots. His remaining archers over here are going to be flanked by Storm Vermin and Rat Ogres, and take a shot to the face by Poison Wind Globadiers, so they do go down. Clan Rats, Storm Vermin, they're cleaning up everything else on the flanks. The only thing he has, his Lord is routing. Everything else was pretty much dead except his Crimson Killers and his Spellcasters, so we had that one in the bag towards the end with that giant AoE. I think is what really turned it in our favor. Even though I think we were in an alright position, that was just a really nice AoE combo there that I had a lot of fun doing, and it just felt good when you had a little plan and actually worked. So really good game, really fun game to my opponent. I forgot to mention at the beginning, our unit count was like literally the exact same. We were maybe like 9 units different, and I don't mean units, I mean models. So we had it was just a really good brawl. Really GG to my opponent. Let's take a quick look at all of the values. For Gorbad, we had Not the best value. He honestly, I found Gorbad was mostly getting beat up by Ikit most of the time. I was just dropping Flensing Ruins on him constantly, so anything he was fighting, he had low armor and was taking damage over time, so he was pretty much taking damage from everything, and he didn't have a lot of mobility footlord wise. He wasn't very fast, so Ikit could just kind of drive circles around him, it felt like. A couple good spells from the Orc Shaman. I might have missed it in the casting. I was getting a little focused in sometimes, but he had a couple really good foot of Orcs that just like deleted some Storm Vermin. They were actually really, really good hits. Orc Boys and Goblins kind of just did whatever. These ones got pretty good value, actually. Doing what you would expect from Goblins and Orc Boys. They held the line. They fought with the Clan Rats well, matched up well with them. Almost 900 value with his little Night Goblins there, the Unbreakable ones. That's not too bad. Black Orcs getting okay value. His Crimson Killer Black Orcs, his main threat, almost 1,500 in value. So that was really good value by those guys. They were doing work. His range did okay, and his Vanguard didn't do like a lot of damage. They kind of partially paid for themselves, but they did disrupt really well. And I would say with the Stone Trolls, they did a little bit of damage and disruption there, but they kind of, I would have just been a little patient with those and let them, and let them come in just right behind your front line, not running in alone on the front line where they just took a lot of damage. But slight misplay, we all do it, but I think if he held the Trolls back a little bit, that game would have been a lot closer. Even though it was very close, as you can see with the unit count, literally like nine models apart, so it was really good. No big entities, like just a really good straight up brawl. For Ikit Claw, over 3,000 value on Ikit Claw. The Flensing Ruins and all the shooting and the magic missiles and vortexes, like, I got my value out of him. I was really happy. He really helped carry the game. All my other chaff did okay. Didn't quite pay for itself, but did really well. The Warp Grinders, I got 2 good uses out of it, so I was happy. And both times it was on his Regiment of Renown, Crimson Killers, so I was pretty happy with that. And the very last one, combined with the Flensing Ruin AoE, felt really good and was a ton of damage. Rat Ogres, they did really well. This one doing almost 1,300 damage dealt as gold value, 500 on that guy, and another little over 500 on that guy. So altogether, definitely more than paid for themselves. Storm Vermin did well, holding the line, had these guys right till the end. Had a little bit of an answer to the Black Orcs when we did have to go with those. Warp Fire Throwers, on here it doesn't look like they did a lot of value. I know one got taken out quite early, but a couple of them did get a couple decent volleys off and deleted a couple like Goblin and Orc Boy units, which doesn't seem like much, but it helps when they at least delete a unit or two before they go. And the Globadiers, one got shut down over on that right side pretty decently. It was hard to keep that one online. He was a little bit out of the fight, but the other one on the left side that was kind of in the mess all the time, 1,400 value, awesome value on that guy, and yeah, felt really good. So Ikit, Rat Ogres, Globadiers carried the day. Excellent brawl, really fun match. Hope I run into this guy again, and GG's. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.